If you lack faith in the area of your child being diagnosed, thinking I'm just going to make peace with it, it is what it is, maybe you need to break generational curses over your life of not having faith and having fear. Now, I have this book. It's called Inherit Your Freedom. And if you have not heard of Apostle Mike Signorelli, you better get this book, and I will link it below. It is so good. When I go to page 60, it says Hebrews 11:8 states, "By faith Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out to a place that he was to receive an inheritance, and he went out not knowing where he was going." To receive godly inheritance, you have to walk a different path than your ancestors. To receive a heavenly inheritance, you have to move in a different direction. You might be misunderstood by your family, and you might be accused of turning your back on your blood. You may even be called unspeakable names. Jesus was too. But like Jesus, your family and the community you grew up in don't have to like the path you've chosen to walk in for you to be anointed, called, effective, and validated by heaven. You may offend your family and co-workers or others, but you have to choose whom you want to be in right standing with. Sometimes being right with your family can mean being in wrong standing with God. And Romans 12:2 says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect." When God called Abraham to take his only son that he had been waiting so long for, and he said, "I want you to take him up on the mount, and I want you to put wood there, and I want you to sacrifice him." I'm pretty sure Abraham was like, what? Think about it as a parent. God gives you this child, right? And he's saying, I'm going to allow him to have a diagnosis of autism. And you as a parent are like, what? This is my child. But Abraham trusted God. Abraham trusted that even if he had to kill his child, God would resurrect his child. And so for us as parents, even though we have to go through ABA, we have to go through speech therapy interventions, God's going to resurrect our child in so many ways. God's going to give our child favor in ways that we never thought possible. Opening doors for our child to be used by God. Opening favor of doors for our child to get the therapies that they need. And we don't know all the things why God is doing all these things. We don't know the whole spectrum. But I'm choosing to break every generational curse of fear over my life. I will not fear the future. I will not fear and live in what ifs. I will say, okay, God, you're using my child for such a time as this. I will serve you. I will say yes. I will put my faith in you. And maybe it's so simple if you feel so stuck in fear. Maybe you just need to inherit your freedom. Get broken free from generational curses. This book will help you get free. And also staying in your local church and being under a covering. I invite you into my church. I go to V1 Church, Apostle Mike and Julie Signorelli. They're fivefold and they're thebomb.com. And so I just want to encourage you, parents, if you feel bound by fear, you may have a generational curse. Because even though through this diagnosis, I'm not afraid. I look forward to all the things that God's going to do in my child. And I am not going to let the enemy bind me. I am free from generational curses, and the Lord can set you free as well. So I just want to invite you and encourage you that God can surely do all things. And we're seeing little wins and miracles, big wins really, in my home every single day. So like and subscribe, comment, did this help you? Are you going to get this book? Have you got this book? Do you love this book as much as I do? Because it's amazing. And I will see you soon for daily encouragement.